On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain died. At the time of her death, she was the longest reigning and oldest monarch in British history, as well as the longest reigning and oldest head of state in the world. She had been on the throne for 70 years, most of the time with her only husband, Prince Philip. It is worth noting that this royal marriage was the longest in history. They lived together for over 73 years. Today we are going to talk about the love story of a lifetime. This is the channel Learning the World. Let's go! Elizabeth II first saw her future husband when she was 8 years old and Philip was 13. They were distant relatives. The children were introduced at the wedding of the Princess of Greece. But at that time no love feelings between them simply could not arise. The second time the future spouses met in 1937 during the coronation of George VI, Elizabeth's father. But even then there was no spark between them. All that changed in 1939 when Elizabeth II and her father, mother and sister arrived at Dartmouth, the home of the Royal Naval College. The royal family were supposed to be accompanied by 2 cadets and they also acted as guides, but on the eve of King George VI's visit with his wife and daughters, the boys caught parotitis. So the honor of entertaining distant relatives fell to 18-year-old Philip. As the mumps and smallpox broke out altered the young princess's planned schedule, Philip enjoyed entertaining his cousins. He joked a lot, ate lunch with them several times, and even played tennis. Elizabeth simply could not take her eyes off the young man. She constantly asked him about his favorite foods and marveled at the boy's excellent appetite. Later, a romantic correspondence began between Elizabeth II and Philip, and when he served during the Second World War, a photo of her lover appeared on her bedside table. In 1943, when the boy was sent on leave, he even spent Christmas with his cousin. As Elizabeth grew older, her father began to look for a powerful suitor, but she already knew exactly who she would marry. The king did not like his daughter's choice at all. He thought that Philip was not suitable for Elizabeth, because he had no serious financial savings, he comes from an overthrown and exiled from his native country family, and in addition has a terrible sense of humor and completely untrained manners. But the girl stood her ground, and George VI had no choice but to consent to the marriage. Still, he made a condition: the engagement would only be announced when Elizabeth celebrated her 21st birthday. On July 10, 1947, it was officially announced that Princess Elizabeth was getting married. In these years, Britain was just recovering from the war, but they did not refuse the wedding ceremony, as the people were eager to celebrate. The fabric for the dress Elizabeth had to buy on her own. She had long saved up cards, which in those years could be used to get the desired goods. Women from all over the country, learning about the upcoming ceremony, sent the princess their cards, but by law she could not use them. It took several months to sew the wedding gown. The dress was decorated with 10,000 beads of pearls and crystal, and the embroidered veil stretched for several meters. The princess had to make her own makeup, and the ingredients for the wedding cake were sent from all the friendly countries. The ceremony invited 2,000 guests. It was considered the most modest by royal standards. But Elizabeth did not care, for she was marrying the man she loved. The wedding took place on November 20, 1947. When pronouncing her traditional vows, Elizabeth declared that she would obey her husband. This caused discontent and condemnation in society. After all, she was to be queen in the future, and she was to be obeyed. Immediately after the wedding, the newlyweds went to the Scottish residence of Balmoral, where they spent their honeymoon. Elizabeth II did not forget to send letters to her family in which she wrote that Philip was the most gentle and caring man. He noted in his letters that he did not understand why he was so happy. In 1948, Elizabeth and Philip had their first child, Prince Charles, and in 1950 their daughter, Princess Anne, was born. Philip continued to serve in the Navy, and in the early years of their marriage Elizabeth often left her children in London while she visited her husband. In 1952, King George VI died and Elizabeth ascended the throne. She was forced to immerse herself in her new responsibilities, but her beloved husband was constantly by her side and she managed to cope. Although Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip wanted many children, they had little time for heirs after the coronation. Their third child, Prince Andrew, was not born until 1960, and 4 years later Prince Edward was born. Despite the fact that the couple lived more than 73 years of marriage, their relationship has not always been ideal. After Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne, Prince Philip had to leave his naval service to help her with her monarchical duties. He didn't like Buckingham Palace either, but the Queen insisted on moving. Philip was also unhappy that the children bore the Windsor surname, but royal protocol demanded it. He did later persuade his wife to let the heirs carry the double name of Mountbatten-Windsor. There were constant rumors in the press about changes in the personal life of the royal family and Prince Philip's adultery. He was said to have had affairs with various famous women. It was also rumored that he often throws parties attended by young ladies. But no proof of these rumors has never been obtained. Philip himself once noted that he is constantly supervised, accompanied by guards and police, so such behavior would never get away with it. In 1997, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip celebrated their golden wedding. During the celebratory banquet, Her Majesty noted that she owed much to her husband, because without him she simply would not have made it. He said that his main duty never to fail the Queen. People believed that the secret of their happy relationship lay in the fact that Philip always treated Elizabeth as an ordinary woman, not as a monarch. He could banter with her and was not afraid to voice his opinions and judgments. And their grandchildren dream that they, too, can build such happy families. On April 9, 2021, the love story of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip ended after more than 73 years together. The Queen's husband died, as indicated by the attending physician, of old age. He was 99 years old at the time of his death, just a couple of months shy of his 100th birthday. After Philip's death, Elizabeth II was inconsolable. In a private conversation with her son Prince Andrew, she noted that her husband's passing left a huge void in her life. On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II also passed away. Her rightful place on the throne was taken by her firstborn son, Charles III, known for most of his life as Prince Charles. He inherited the throne at the age of 73, making him the oldest king of Great Britain at the start of his reign. That's all for today. If you liked the video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe.